Hello, welcome to Karma's a Stitch. This is the third video that I have put together this weekend, but this is probably the one I am most excited about. It is almost time for my next cast on party, and I'm so excited. If you can hear in the background, maybe you can't, my printer is going. I am printing patterns, and I did not think this all the way through. I should have waited to start recording until after I had done that. But it is almost time for a cast on party, you guys. I have bags behind me, and these bags are bags that, because other than the gift make-alongs, which January, February, March, and now April, I haven't cast anything on. My 12 cast-ons of Christmas. But since then, I haven't cast anything on. And I have been putting things in bags like, oh, I really want to make that. So I get the yarn and I get the pattern and I put it together with this one right here. I hadn't got the pattern yet, but I wrote what pattern I wanted and I put it on a sticky note in the bag so I knew I would still have to go get that. And this bag back here, I just recently decided what I wanted to do with that bag and I'm so excited. So I am now printing that pattern as well. So this video is going to talk about what to expect, how you can prepare for a cast on party, and these are lessons learned. These are lessons learned by multiple people. We have had a few cast on parties now and they're just fun. We have such a great time and we've made so many friendships. I say we because it is a group of us and we just all have a great time, and it's always wonderful to meet new people. And I put these cast on parties together for my subscribers so that I can kind of interact with everybody, and I can tell you that there's going to be some other podcasters there, so you'll get to interact with some of them as well. If you are a podcaster, you're welcome to talk about it. It's just a really great social event, and I would love for you to come in and promote your podcast a little bit. Like, don't dominate the conversation, right? Or if you're a yarn dyer, come tell us about what you do, but then you're gonna get to hear what everybody else does too. So this video is going to be about that. We're 3 minutes in, I'm sorry. I'm going to share with you a little bit, not a little bit, I'm going to share with you the projects I have to cast on this Saturday. And I'm looking for 2 suggestions. I have some wool here that I got from a woman. She was getting ready to turn, I think, 80. And she had lost her husband. She was moving in, I believe, with her granddaughter. And she had this massive yarn stash. And she's like, I'm never gonna knit all of this. So she was getting rid of some pretty amazing stuff. So I got some, and I was at the shop with Erica, and she helped me figure out yardage. So I knew how many yards were in 10 grams. And then I wound it all up and then weighed it. And then I knew how much was in 10 grams. So I figured out how many grams were in the whole skein based on that. And I have 2 yarns here that I'd really love to do something with because they're beautiful. Now, I'm gonna go grab my 2 patterns so that I can put them in the appropriate project bags, and then I'll be back. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to adjust so you guys don't see that, but the sun is just at that spot right now. I'm so sorry. And I'm using Alex's Lego table. So I still haven't figured out where my normal recording spot's gonna be in this new house, but I'll get there. Let me grab these patterns. Okay, I have my patterns, and I think this is you have a little bit of the dots here and a little bit there. I'm real sorry. So, cast on party. I live in Idaho in the United States, and so at 10 o'clock my time this Saturday, April 13th, I will open up a Zoom room, okay? And that Zoom room is gonna have people in it the majority of the day. I think the earliest that we have ended one of these cast on parties is midnight, my time. So for those of you that are in the UK, I will have you know that the person that has hung out with me the longest lives in Scotland, and she's 7 hours ahead of me. And one morning, I think that one, and I'm sorry if you don't want me to call you out on this, Caroline, but I think that first cast on party, we got off and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. And it was 9 o'clock in the morning, her time. Caroline, feel free to correct me. But we have such a great time. And there are people from all over the US, all over. I know I've had folks from Canada and Australia and the UK. So there's just an amazing community. And I have that Zoom room open. I open it at 10 o'clock my time, and it stays open until everybody decides to head out. So it is something where I make sure I have snacks, lots of snacks, and foods that I can eat that are already prepared. I make sure I have plenty of liquids. Obviously, I start my day with coffee. And I make sure that everybody else in my household has something else to do that day. So that's kind of what I do to prepare around my home. Now, looking at these bags, I have 2 sweaters, 2 tops, 1 cardigan, a blanket, a wrap, and then I'm looking for suggestions for 2 of them. Now, the blanket, I don't think I'll need to do any prep work for. I'll need to wind a couple of minis. So we'll start with that one. This one here, and I will find a more appropriate, it's Barnes & Noble. I'll find a more appropriate project bag, I promise. But I have had some friends making these cozy memory blankets. I must have one. What a fun project, and what a fun way to use up scraps. I'm super excited, and I didn't realize, and I haven't looked at this pattern yet, but it has an option, and I'm gonna cover up this part, but it has a mini version. And I don't know what that entails exactly, because I haven't really been able to get into the pattern yet. This is one I just printed. Now, for this, I will be using a bunch of minis that I've got. A lot of them are from the UK. A friend of mine was having a D-stash, and I got, some of them are spilling out. I got a bag chocked full sent to me. It's stuffed. It's busting out the seams, you guys. Full of minis. Plus, I have some other ones in this bag that I plan on creating a cozy memories blanket with. Now, I don't think there's anything I have to do. I will read through the pattern and decide if I'm going to do this one or the one that said mini. Other than that, I think that's all I'll need to know, okay? And this one I'll make sure my needles are already in the project bag, and then I'll be good to go. But I will read through the pattern for this one. Next, this is a top, and I wasn't even really, well, I had this top saved in my favorites, and then my yarn shop got this yarn in, and I was like, oh, I need to wear that. But I didn't want to buy the yarn until I had a pattern to go with it, right? Because this is some pretty, so this yarn is Neuro Compieto. I'm going to let you look at that. Can you read that? Anyway, So this is 35% silk, 35% cotton, 30% polyamide. It's 150 grams per skein, and it is 450 meters. It says that Compieto is colorful, traditional Japanese candy. And you guys, this is super soft, like cotton and silk. Amazing. So what I chose, and obviously I'll be getting a more appropriate project bag, but the pattern I decided to do is called Other Loops. And I'm trying to see who it's by. I might have to look at my Ravelry here because I have it in my library already, but it's not, the pattern's not telling me who it's by. Oh, it's by Other Loops. And the pattern is called Reverse Loop Sweater. I'm going to show this to you so you can see where the confusion came in. So apparently the designer is Other Loops, and the pattern is called Reverse Loop Sweater. So I don't know if you can see the detail. And you know, for me, sweaters, sleeves just make or break it for me. And these are not stripes. This is from my printer. So I will be making this top with this Neuro. Okay. And I don't see a colorway on here. I'm sure there is one, but it's like a light mint green maybe. And it's got purple and orange and yellow and blue, a little bit of pink. Super excited about this. So to get ready for Saturday for this one, I will completely read through this pattern. I will go through and I will mark the size on here. I'll make sure I have this loaded on my Knit Companion. However, I zoom on my iPad. My Knit Companion is on my iPad. So I will make sure that I have my pattern, paper printed pattern, available so I can utilize that while I'm zooming on my iPad. So I am gonna go through this. If I think it's top down, I might do the ribbing for the neckline. I'll just have to see, because if it's a bottom up, I will for sure do the ribbing at the bottom, just to get that part started. And the reason I say that is because I spent one cast on party. I spent about 3.5 hours, maybe longer, counting and recounting, and then counting some more, because I was so distracted with my socializing and my friends and the talking and all of the things. So getting a large number cast on done before Saturday, fabulous idea. Strongly encourage. All right, so that is cast on number 2. Cast on number 3 will be this one. We'll just go with this one. This is one, again, the yarn came in and everybody at my knit shop is doing a make-along. And they're doing a make-along. It's by Savory Knits or Savory Knitting. And it's the pressed flower sweater, cardigan. I think she had socks, a cowl, a hat, but it's the pressed flowers mosaic knitting motif. And lots of people in our local yarn shop are doing this make along. And I was like, oh, it's really pretty, but do I really want to do it? And so I think I decided I did. So I'm going to show you this picture. So that is the cardigan. There might be a better picture here on the back. Yes. So here is another picture. Isn't that beautiful? So I am going to make that cardigan. And again, it's Pressed Flowers Cardigan by Savory Knitting. And I will show you. So my main color, okay, so I'll hold it up again so you can look at the picture and the yarn. So the main color is going to be this pale pink. And this is Jody Long Alba Merino Alpaca Luxury Tweed Blend. It's 50% wool, 25% alpaca, 25% viscose, 100 grams, 350 meters. So this is going to be my main color. And it is a bit pinker than what's coming up. So then my flower color is going to be this one. Oh, almost dropped it. And again, it's, oopsies, it's Noro. So that's going to be the color of my flowers. This is going to be the color of my cardigan. So the pink will be the main color, and the darker will be the flowers that are showing up underneath the pink. Now, this dark color is kakigori. Kakigori is a Japanese shaved ice dessert. It's 50% cotton, 30% silk, and 10% viscose, 10% polyamide. Okay, so this will be the color of my flowers underneath this pale pink. So excited. 200 grams, 600 meters in this. So to get this one ready, I will find a more appropriate project bag. I will go through this pattern and I will figure out what size I'm going to be making. I'll mark that throughout. I'll make sure I have the pattern up in my Knit Companion. I'll probably start a Ravelry page Saturday if I cast it on. I don't know why I wouldn't, but so those are things that I need to be doing. I will make sure that I go through the pattern and highlight it, because there's nothing worse than trying to read your pattern, figure out what size you're doing and your measurements, and not miss out on a great conversation topic, because that's when it always happens. So that will be the second top I will be doing. Now, the wrap that I'm going to be doing, this was one I wanted to cast on as one of my 12 cast-ons of Christmas. And I had too many. I had my 12 and then some, and I ended up saying I'm going to hold this one back, okay? Because I wasn't sure on color placement and whatnot. So this is going to be done. This pattern came with one of my advents. This came from Little Lycac Yarns. I got her advent, and the theme was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I got the wool, but it also came with a pattern. So I'm using the pattern from Little Lycac, and it's by Penny Baker, and it's called Enchanted Delight. And because it came with the advent, the pictures in the pattern are black and white. And that was done so that we couldn't see the colors of the advent, because this pattern was designed for that advent. Once I had seen the advent and I had seen a finished object done in the advent, I knew I needed to do that pattern, and I knew I needed to use that wool, but I wasn't going to use them together. So I chose one of my other advents that was in this project bag. This yarn came from Gem State Yarns. She's in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I think this was the third year that I've gotten her advent, and I have loved it every year. I've never met her, but I'd love to. I don't know that she watches my channel, but I have loved working with her wool every year. I have not been disappointed. So with her Advent, I will be doing this Enchanted Delight wrap. It is on Ravelry. I know this picture isn't showing you much, but it really was for a wonderful, it was a good reason. Like they wanted you to see the pattern, but not the colors. And there was no other way for them to do that. So I love a long wrap. It's beautiful. Can't wait. What I will be doing for this pattern, I will be looking through the pattern. Okay, I will read through it so I know what I'm doing. If there's a long cast on, I will take care of that. If I need stitch markers, which I would imagine because there is some lace portions, I'll make sure I have my knitting needles. I have a project bag already, and I'll be ready to go with this one. I will wind my first couple minis that are going to go into this. That'll be the wrap I'm casting on. Now, the fifth and final project that I have set aside to cast on during this cast on party, again, was one that I had ready to do for my 12 cast-ons of Christmas. And it is with my little Lycac Yarns Advent that I got, that was the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe themed. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I am super excited to be using that. This whole bag is, it's my Advent. So I already have a project bag. Now what I'll be doing with this, it was also one that I had my 12 cast-ons already selected. This one just had to be, it just had to wait till the cast-on party, which is just fine. But I will be doing the Radent Cardigan by Amba O'Brien. I need to do a little bit more thought on this one because I have to have a main color, and I thought that I had that in here. I need to double check. But yes, so this is the Radent Cardigan. I will do extra length because I'm not a crop top kind of gal. It is by Amba O'Brien. I do think that I'd like it to be so that the same colors are on each side and they kind of come into the middle. I don't know that I want it to go from one and go all the way across. But again, I haven't fully decided on that yet, which is why I think I waited and didn't do this in December as one of my 12 cast-ons. So there's that. I need to figure out my main color, but again, I have to read through the pattern. I have to figure out what I'm doing. I believe I have to have a main color, and I start on one of the cuffs because it starts, I believe the construction of this is it starts here and you work your way across to the other sleeve. So I need a main color for my, and I think that my plan was to use this Trilogy Yak sock because I had that in this bag. And this colorway is denim, and this is 30% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. I'm pretty sure that that's why I had this in here, was for the main color. But I'm gonna read through this, mark my size, wind my skein, and I will be ready to cast this on Saturday. So are you tired of listening to me ramble yet? I'm gonna get a drink, 1 second. Okay, so that's the 5 I had planned. Now, these are the 2 that I need some help finding patterns. If I don't find a pattern that I just fall in love with, and if I look in my favorites, and even in my library, I thought that I had saved some, and I'll just show it to you guys first. So this is the first one. And now that I want to find the sun, I can't find it because it shines. I don't know what in it is making it shine. Okay, so this is, and let me tell you what I have, okay? So it says here, this is the this is the sticker, the tag, I should say, that came with it, okay? And I'm gonna show you, it's written on what looks like part of a book. And it says violet gray wool / cotton. Now, I just showed you this one, but that was the second skein. This is the first one. I have a lot of this, okay? And I wanna say this is a lace weight. It is, I feel pretty good about saying lace weight. Let me get this wrapped back around here, sorry. So, wool cotton blend, lace weight. Let me tell you how much I have because I do want some ideas for patterns, you guys. And I need help. I don't do a lot of lacy stuff. So I have 354 grams of this and it is 1,770 yards. That's what I have of this purple yarn. Now, if you guys have been here for a while, I did, it's called the Shipwreck Shawl. And the Shipwreck Shawl had beads in it. And it was a pretty, I thought it was lacy, but maybe it wasn't. Anyway, I need to spend some time on Ravelry. I'm not going to do it right now because that's rude. But I do need to spend some time on Ravelry looking for patterns between now and Saturday. If you guys have suggestions on something that this would look amazing as, like, what does that want to be when it grows up? What do you think? See that right there? That doesn't look like lace weight. But the majority of it does. So what do you guys think? What would you do with that? I need some ideas and I'm open to suggestions. Now, this next one is even softer and it didn't have a tag at all. I don't know what this is made out of. I don't even know what this is made out of. And I am usually not an orange kind of person, but this was, for whatever reason, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So, oh, you guys, it's just so nice. But this is all I have. I say this is all I have of it. There's a lot here. But again, what I think it's a light fingering to lace weight. Now, of this, I have 230 grams, 767 yards. Okay, so if I could find a pattern for that one and for this blue purple one, I would be ecstatic. So those are my plans for Saturday. What are you doing this Saturday? Where are you gonna be? I am very excited about all of this, all of it. So Saturday is the day that you guys, if you watch my normal episodes, because this is not a normal episode, I've been rolling the dice and working on a project for 1 week. So I'm going to record a status update for the project that I rolled last Friday, okay? I will record my status on that Friday. I will upload it, but I'm not gonna roll again because this next week, I wanna spend a week just getting familiar with my new projects, welcoming them into the fold of Tonya's whips. So I'm not gonna roll the dice this Friday because I'm gonna have at least 5 new cast-ons for Saturday morning. Now, if you are interested in participating in the cast-on party, let me know. My email is listed below. It's karmasastitch@hotmail.com. You can reach me on Instagram, which is my preferred, but not necessary. And the thing is that what I do is I create a group on Instagram. Okay, it's cast on party and then the date of that cast on party. And that morning, Saturday morning, usually about 5 minutes before I open the Zoom room, that's where I post the Zoom details. Okay, so Saturday morning, you don't need to email me and say, oh, I didn't get it. If you're in that Instagram group, it will show up in that Instagram group, usually about 5 minutes before. It's usually when I've gotten all my stuff situated, I'm sitting down in my knitting spot with my coffee. That's when I'll open the room and send out the meeting information. So if you're interested in participating, you don't have to be here all day. If you're available for a little bit, pop in for a little bit and head out. If you aren't a big social person, but you'd really like to just listen to everybody else laugh and joke and get some good tips and share patterns or recipes, you just want to listen, you don't have to turn your camera on. It would be nice if you at least said hello, but you don't have to go any further than that. There might be some party favors. There might be some things going on during the party at different times of the day. Yes. Reach out to me so that I can add you to that Instagram group so that Saturday morning when I post the Zoom details, you'll get notified because you'll be a part of that Instagram group. I have had somebody reach out and say, oh, I'm not on Instagram, Tonya, but I'd really like to participate. You still can. Just send me your email and say, I really want to participate. Please add me to your email group. The email group will get a later notification just because I do try to get the Instagram stuff going, then the Zoom room, then I greet everybody, and then I will be able to send out a blanket email. So if that's okay with you, that's okay with me. Just be patient with me because email, it just takes me a little bit longer because I have to, and it won't be a real sentimental email. It'll probably just be a picture of a Zoom room ID and passcode. So, you guys, I think that's all. I think that's it. Keep in mind, there's usually a lot of people in these groups and lots of chatter, which is awesome. But we're all adults. And so there's no talking over everybody and no dominating conversations. And if I start telling you about my move, you really don't have to feel like you need to one-up me, and that's okay. But you can give me some good tips. You could tell me how to fix this next part of my move. It's just a really great, fun thing. And I just want everybody to enjoy themselves. And we've always had a good time, and we'll probably continue to have cast on parties as long as we are all having a good time with them. So if you're interested in participating, and just know I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to visit with you. I have some viewers that make comments, and you've been commenting for a while, and I would just love to knit with you. So there you go, guys. I think that's all I've got. Please leave a comment below. Tell me what you plan on casting on Saturday, whether you're joining us or not joining us. Yeah, I think that's all, you guys. I'm gonna go so that I can find some real project bags and read through some patterns and then knit on my project for the week. And then probably give my kid a shower because she needs that. But we've already taken the dogs for a walk. We've already been down to the park. We've already had dinner. She's over doing a Bible study with her brother while I did this recording. And then it's going to be time to get ready for bed. So you guys, I'll see you Saturday. Okay. Bye.